time the last night. She said, raw X3, so it's true love at first sight. Throw out my candy bracelets, now I'm headed to class. I'm still 20%, so get your head out your ass. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you hear the I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck the cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life. She said, do you like waffles? I said, hell yeah. Been watching Equals 3 until 2 a.m. I ain't got no iPhone, but I got a DS with a keychain, a pinky. Her cupcakes are the best. I've been failing my classes cause I don't give a damn. They say the world is my oyster, but the free market's a scam. Everything's been changing since last generation was born, and they won't try to take and change it to two-edged sword. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck the cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life. It's never too late to fall in love with the world. Your past is not today, so set your stride with a twirl. Yeah, we've all made mistakes before, that's the fact of life. But once you restate your heart, you'll be just fine. Now it's your life, you say it's all mine, all mine. Revel in your friends and hobbies, let your heart speak. When a drifter says some shit, just block that internet freak. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody. So, we're continuing with the plot from last time. Everybody's recovering from Renoy just wrecking our shit. The old guy came in and just utterly wrecked us, so all the characters are kind of down right now. We're going to kill some giant kaiju to make ourselves feel better though. Isn't that great?
What's wrong with her?
Won't it be fun to go slay some
She wears a
giant
mask all the
kaiju?
time. She
Hey
knows
Dawn
tricks.
Seeker, nice to
She's
see you.
always staring.
She was trapped in a
The
fire,
fire.
a long time
Ah.
Why
Did they come
did
to
they come to see me?
ago. I don't know.
Oh, come on,
It's
dude. You,
surprised me.
Verso, we just went over the
told me.
lying. Come on. Come on, buddy. We've been over
She
this
helped
whole
me
lying thing
before.
before.
I thought she'd help me again, but it seems she's chosen a different side. Family is... Do you want the armband?
What?
I
Wear it anyway.
did.
Yay! He's
Strange
on our
you
side.
know. I hate
Alright.
secrets, but
Also, I've got some nice tea
Gustav
today
always gave
to
people the
enjoy
benefit
this
of the doubt.
wonderful game.
your actions are what matters.
Okay.
I
I do like that even though they're upset of him for keeping secrets, they're like, we get why you kind of get why you did it, and we're not like super mad because you did kind of save our lives and everything. Alright, remember the current objectives. We gotta defeat 2 Axolotls in their respective islands to forge a weapon that'll be able to pierce the monolith barrier. Alright, sounds cool. Let's go kill some kaiju! Who's excited to go kill some kaiju? This guy. It's gonna be fun. No, like legitimately, this is gonna be great. Currently I'm playing Altier Liddy, and Suel. And yeah, it's fun. Unlike Altier Sophia 2, I'm not regretting this. That's good. I'm glad the spin-offs are at least fun. Okay, so we can now break through the coral barriers that have been blocking our way so far. That's good to know. Alright, Esqui. Let's go, buddy. Hey, Coral. You no longer block my way. Esqui is the most powerful being in the world. They actually apparently called Esqui the most powerful being in the world. And I'm feeling a little slighted that the most powerful being in the world is content to just, like, carry our party around and not help us actually fight. But, okay. Fine, whatever. You're just gonna make the most powerful being in the world use the form of transportation. Gotcha. Look at his little legs. They're, like, vibrating like motors. The little stick legs are just vibrating. It's adorable. Look at them. It's like the mandibles of a little creature. Oh, it's bizarre. Esqui's a weird-looking creature. Alright, so what's this place? Let's see. I guess we gotta find a beach to land at. Oh, come on. You could totally... Esqui, you could totally just hop up there. Oop. Alrighty. We've got a portal. Wow. Okay, wow. We're gonna be killing some, like, absolutely ginormous creatures, aren't we? How big is this place? Serene. Okay. This is gonna be a lot. Alrighty. We've got Serene.
The architecture looks very different.
Serene,
here.
I guess, maybe? I
This
don't know.
kind of place never existed before the fracture.
Oh, cool. So this
It's
place is
beautiful.
entirely new.
Feels.
So I guess the post-apocalypse built an entire ancient ruin for fun. Good to know the paintress has a sense of... I mean, look, I know she's murdering, like, everyone in the world slowly using attrition, like, every year killing another group of people. But you gotta give the paintress one thing. She has some fucking style. I'm sorry, if she built this place, she definitely has style. You gotta give her points for that. So what's going on with this place, though? I mean, it's massive and kind of cool, but where's the giant monster? So wasn't that the whole thing is we have... Oh! I see. There it is.
Is she the Axon?
Oh no, boys. Oh, she draws you in with, like, hypnotic dancing.
Sirene, she who plays with wonder.
Sirene, the she who plays with wonder. Guys, you're being drawn into her, like, weird siren dance. So I guess Serene, the whole siren thing that I was getting from her name.
So
Beautiful.
Lune, what's going on?
You guys can't stop dancing, can
I
you?
don't know.
She's manipulating your emotions.
You have to
You have
focus.
to focus.
Remember why you're here. I like the idea that even something that large has, like, an immense mental power. Like, imagine something with that kind of
Be
physical
careful.
strength also being, like,
Call
a
her
psychic
She
manipulator.
who plays with
Damn.
wonder.
She plays
But what
with
she
wonder,
really
literally.
does is play with your
Ah, I see. Very interesting.
Let's move fast before we all lose our minds.
Okay. Ooh, let's see what have we got? What have we got today? So, I'm currently still working on the Faithbreaker review. I wanted to finish it today because I had a lot of time, but I did not get to finish it, unfortunately. One of the main things I do like about DaVinci Resolve, though, is that the multi-timeline thing is much easier for DaVinci Resolve as compared to Cyberlink. So I'm actually splitting my different parts into different timelines and then editing them inside themselves, which making it a little bit less likely I hit Ripple Delete and accidentally screw up everything. So that's nice. But the other thing I've been working on with it is just trying to get footage that's interesting. Now, one of the things I did find for the intro, finally, was I found this really good video on Twitter. I actually get some passive-aggressive joy out of putting it in Twitter.com when I go to Twitter, rather than X. So I did that and went on there, and I tried to find anything related, because I was trying to search for anything related to the book on Google and DuckDuckGo, but I couldn't find anything. Add me on Discord. Oh, hey. Yeah. Well, actually, Claire, if you go to the YouTube, you can actually find our link on Discord to our channel, where you can go visit us. It's nice to see you, Claire. Clara,
Don't look
I
at her
guess.
for too long or you'll go insane.
So, that is cool, though.
I've seen people jumping off a cliff just from
Good to
looking
see.
at her.
Literally, just go to my YouTube channel. We're called The Dragon's Library, and you can get a link to our Discord
Mesmerizing.
channel in the description of, like, basically any video I
feels
make.
familiar.
Go online and find it, and you
kind
can
of
come to our
dancing
channel, and there are a bunch of people
to me, yeah.
talking. There are, like, several of
I
us now.
don't
We have
think so.
DJ, Dawnseeker, Neuro
Never
Dragon,
seen it.
occasionally Assembly as well. It's great. In Altier, Lydia and Suel. Altier, LAS for short. Alchemy has the building blocks for Despicable Alchemy system, and Altier Studio 2 it isn't demanding of perfection as Altair Sevilla. So it has a lot of the good parts of the second game without a lot of the secondary bad parts. Oh my god, so I'm getting this like weird tearing in my screen. I have no idea why. Oh man. Wow, so it's just one thing after another. Oof. I'm getting this like weird tearing effect. I have no idea what it is. Yeah, whenever I move, I'm getting this like weird tearing. Not sure if it's visible on YouTube. Oof. Okay, so they're not going to be taken out by basic attacks. We're going to have to go after them like this. It is always nice to get somebody commenting on Twitch, though. Thank you very much. That is good, though. I like it when games take the good parts of their systems and actually improve on them. One of the reasons I like Bloodborne so much is that it improves upon Dark Souls formula by adding things like the rallying system, where you can get some health back by attacking an enemy, because it led to a more aggressive style. In a lot of Dark Souls games, when you get hit, the instinct is more to back off and, the instinct is to back off and heal, not necessarily to try and, do more damage. Bloodborne encouraged you to be more aggressive by essentially incentivizing the play pattern that they were trying to get out of the opponents anyway. So you can get some of that health back, and with minor injuries, that can be enough to just instantly repair yourself. If you're willing to go in and actually, hit them with a good attack. But you have to do it quickly. Yes, but Altair, LAS, Atelier, sorry, I keep saying Altair. Atelier is the LAS, is the one that introduced the components to materials. Okay. So how does that change things? I haven't actually played around with that crafting system. So how does that like change everything when it comes to crafting things in the game? Okay. Well, these guys are just like dodging all my attacks. Do I have to parry them to kill them? Oh, that would kind of suck if there are enemies you have to parry. Like, I like the parry system, but making you have to parry to kill some enemies is kind of suck a bit.
Let's spill some ink.
I'm charmed. Oh shit! I'm attacking one of my. Wait, I'm attacking one of my allies. Oh, that's rude. Oh shit.
Didn't really need it.
Alright, well this is not great. Marking shot.
Okay.
Shit, Lune is charmed. Okay, the charmed effect is really annoying. Swift strike. Get in a virtuous stance.
Take cover.
That's better.
Alright, you got partial parry. Basically, each synthesizable material item has effects that are determined by the components on the materials you use. Okay, so sort of like how in like Bethesda games, when you use alchemy systems, each of the ingredients has like an effect, and by combining them together, you can create. And as long as two of the ingredients have the effect, you get the effect in the potion. So you can combine 3 ingredients with like that. Maybe like each of them shares a potion ingredient with like another item. You can get like a 3 effect potion or whatever. Don't have enough of one component, then the effect won't be on the item. Exactly. You need to have enough things with that effect in order to get it on the item. Okay, cool. That's kind of cool. I like it. I can't get them to hit.
Feeling better.
Lune is still... Okay, she's not charmed anymore. Good. We're gonna go for a big blast of wildfire. Just a good old knee. Okay. There, one of them's dead at least.
Ready to parry.
I want to parry these guys. Hello, Code and Assembly is here. Good to see you, bud. Well, we're currently trying to deal with this. We have a giant woman who's trying to hypnotize me with dancing. Yes, that is actually what's going on right now.
No.
Oh shoot, I forgot to jump dodge. That was supposed to be a jump attack. Perfection. He's still dodging, but I want to try and get some parry practicing on this one. And also shooting shots. Sounds good, but execution is horrible in Altair Sevilla 2. What makes it horrible in the second one? Necessarily. Ooh, we got a new item for our new party member. Cool. Alright, so these dancer guys are really annoying. The charmed condition essentially makes you attack your own allies. And these guys are really good at dodging, which is like very frustrating for me personally. So a lot of my attacks, even my special moves, aren't going to work on these guys. I should be focused on just like nailing them down with shots and going in with skills or abilities that might work. So let's see if we can kill... I think the best move here is to use the wildfire. Yeah, we want to get wildfire, so they're getting damage over time. And they dodge. Great. Okay, marking shot I think works on them. I think bullets. Nope, a marking shot doesn't work on them.
Get ready.
Take cover.
Damn it, Charms. Charms is annoying. She's now gonna attack one of my people. Fun game. Fun. Basically, how to put it. Wait, I can hit them? I thought the dodge was automatic. Basically, how you put it, the main problem you run into is the components on the materials are not fixed on the material. Well, wait, how can you wait, is the components on the materials are not fixed to the material type. So like, what do you mean by that? Like, a berry, not every berry of this type gives the same effect? Because that would kind of be weird if every random ingredient you picked up, even if you picked up a copy of it earlier, had different abilities or infusions or whatever. Because that would make it a little random as to like what materials you get. It would probably be hard to get a hold of the right materials. A lot of crafting systems that rely on alchemy rely on getting having a consistent access, or at least semi-regular access to certain effects. You know, like, you know that if you go to this area and grab snowberries, you are going to have a damage effect or whatever, for maybe put into a poison. Or am I misunderstanding what you're saying?
Chroma is flowing.
Alright, we gotta get them here. Maybe I can get the random attack when we go through, because they don't seem to be technically automatic to dodge. We need to fire enough to dodge. Okay, see, if we fire enough stuff, we can get them. That's good. Assault 0. Let's try and go for multi-hit. So we want to go for multi-hit stuff that has no chance of actually hitting them.
Watch out.
Lune, watch out.
Ah, my timing.
Just try it.
Garbage.
Didn't really do it.
Alright, we don't want to get charmed, because that is, like, really annoying.
I'll use your fire.
Damn it. Can't hit things. Frustration throw. Enemies that dodge a lot are really annoying, he says, as the player who dodges a lot. I'll just hit them each with a stack of fire. There's some damage over time stuff going on.
Take cover.
Damn it.
Not impressed.
Parry it.
Didn't really do
Ugh! I keep getting the timing on it wrong, and now I'm getting two enemies that are attacking me. Mael might actually die right now. Shit. Oh shit, Mael got killed by my own allies. These things are dangerous. Holy shit.
Oh well.
And I can't parry like this because they're charmed, so they can't dodge or parry, which is really actually kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. Okay, we're getting some damage. There are 5 different types of components that any material can have: red, blue, green, yellow, and purple. Alright. That makes some sense. So there are different types of components any material can have. But they're not fixed to the type of material you'll find. So like, you're not guaranteed to get like this one type of material isn't guaranteed to have the component type red or whatever. I can heal off parries, which is nice. You know, it's like actually parry at the right time. I need to parry when it's about to hit me, not before.
Let's carve a path.
I really need to get this better at parrying these guys, because I'm feeling the boss is basically a bigger one of them. And if I can get charmed during the boss fight, that could really hurt. Yep, it's random. That kind of sucks then, because a crafting material system that's just random seems like it would be a kind of shit system to have to rely on to build components. Especially if that's a major part of the game, and alchemy isn't like a secondary system you can ignore. You know, if it's a required system, that can be very frustrating. I can definitely see why that would put a bit of a stink in the sequel. Ooh, we found another expedition log.
55th. I don't understand. The weaponry worked brilliantly up to now.
Oh,
Augmenting Pictos with music was a stroke of genius.
but the Sonics
But the Sonics have no effect on the
Nevrons
Nevrons
here.
It's as if they can't even hear our music. They just keep dancing to their own. We're running out of ideas.
Damn.
I miss my girls so
Alright.
much it kills me.
So another
It hurts
tragedy.
thinking that I could have been home right now playing music while they dance. Wish I would have given birth by now.
I could be holding my first
I could be
grandchild.
holding my first grandchild. Instead, I'm here. No.
Oh, I see.
No.
There's still a
There's
chance.
still a chance. And someone has to fight for them. I can't let them down.
Drums, maybe that'll work. So something that's like a bit more heavy might do it. Maybe we'll find a way to make drums to attack the big guy. Or big girl. She's like a gigantic dancer lady who's dancing down there and nearly hypnotized us when we first came in. So we gotta figure out how to deal with her. That's one of the big axons we have to kill. That's where our like main overarching quest goal. Also, let's go ahead and heal the party so we're not going with two members that could get charmed and kill each other. Yes! We got opening attack. That's sweet. Oh, also, one thing I've been doing a lot, I actually am very happy with, although I've been very upset that the stream has, like, not been going well, I have really enjoyed rewatching my streams to go over them for stuff. One of the things I've been doing with the last, like, two to 3 weeks of streams has been going over them again, and rewatching them to make sure they're, you know, I'm still having enough stuff, and I'm actually very happy. I'm progressed well. I'm enjoying listening to my streams, and hopefully other people are enjoying listening too.
I'm ready.
I'm getting better. I can semi-consistently do the second attack. It's the first attack I have problems with.
Let the ink flow.
Alright, we're gonna blast her down.
Let's spill some ink.
Get wrecked. Alright, well, we killed it. Obviously, this lack of certainty feeds into a hoarding issue for materials you never end up using. Yeah, I have a problem with that in games. So, one of the reasons I'm so happy with some games that, like, give you renewable resources, like, one of the things I like here is that you're, so this is actually something that I can talk about with this game specifically. So, in this game, you have consumables that you can use during a fight. They're the tints. So, not the tints, I forget what they're called. They're these things. These little... In the corner here, you can see this red vial, this blue vial, and this green vial. And you can use them to restore health, to revive people, and to restore AP points during a fight. And they restore after you rest, which is a really good system. I played Koi Koi with my ma yesterday, the Hanafuda game. Oh, how was it? Was it fun? But no, I like it when the materials you can use during a fight are recurable at a certain point, like a rest point, because it encourages you to use them. Because if you find like a rare potion, I remember in Dark Souls, I get the Divine Blessing. I don't think aside from like 1 or 2 times when I was just really desperate, I have ever used a Divine Blessing. Whenever I finish a Dark Souls game, I end the game with like 4 or 5 Divine Blessings in my inventory. And the reason is because they restore health fully and do all. She beat me 29 to 2 points. Oh damn, she's doing well. Good for her. But yeah, like when you have rare, valuable ingredients like that, it can be nice because it can give you really. It was fun though. Well, that's what's important. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It matters if you have fun or not. If I constantly won a game but hated playing it, I would not enjoy that game. It's been so long. I spent the days I spent surfing on the dunes gone. Whoever built this Coliseum sucks. I mean, I feel like it was the paintress. Although again, paintress might be evil, but you gotta give her style points. Like, damn, this place looks good. Can I not go in there? Oh, there we go. That was weird. But yeah, when you have renewable resources that you have to manage during, like, certain time periods, it can make you much more likely to actually spend them. It's why Estus Flask technically beat Blood Vials, because Blood Vials are... Yeah, they'll recur to 20 and you can get in the mood, but every once in a while you run out and you have to go farm them, and that's not great. The only flaw in Bloodborne is they tried to make it sort of like a farmable consumable, which I'm still not on board with. People don't want to use things that they think they might need. The FOMO, the feeling of I might need it later, is the doom of all limited resources in games. It really is. It's hard to be excited to use a powerful consumable if you think you might need to use it later. It can literally just destroy secondary systems. Like if a game, especially if a game needs you to use them, like the game was designed and balanced with the idea that you would have to use them, it can really be a bummer for a game to then make it so you can only get like 1 or 2 of them. Because unless the game has it where if you lose, you just go back to an early save state, which a lot more games are going for, like the Dark Souls style, you revive, but technically it's canon or whatever. Especially in games like that, it can be really frustrating because do I want to use this? And then people just end up getting good enough to not need it, and then what was the point, you know? It's a pet peeve of mine because I can see the problem, but I don't have an easy solution. I forgot it's Thursday, XD, howdy. Oh, I was wondering where you were, DJ. I mean, not DJ, Neurodragon. DJ's still gone. Still, it's good to see you. How are you doing today?
Let us stay then.
Alright, let's go ahead and ice lance this guy.
You're outmatched.
From the fire. Got him. Alright. Let's go ahead and use an item. We're going to use energy. See, I can feel good about using energy sink here because I know it's going to restore when I long rest. And that means it's not a limited resource that I'm only going to get 1 of in the whole game. Because that's the problem as well. You're only going to get 1 item of it in the whole game. First off, it's probably only going to be used on like the hardest boss in the game, whether it's the final boss or not. The other issue is, you don't necessarily want to use it on the final boss, because what if it's a fake out? What if the final boss isn't the final boss? What if it's all a trap? That mindset really digs in, I find, with powerful consumable items you only get 1 of.
A storm is coming.
I've heard of games with limited consumables, enemies the game expects you to use them on, respawning enemies, recipe for disaster. Exactly. If you have a boss who you need certain consumables, or the game was balanced with the idea that you would get these and use them to make them slightly easier to like get an advantage, and you don't because you've been taught not to waste items on things like that, it can really screw it up. Unfortunately, still gone. It was close for me to join him in Absentee, but I'm glad I made it. Am I the only one that gets vibes of old anime movies from this song? Red Cape, True Story, something like that? Not even a boss, just staring at enemies. Yeah. Oh, you mean like when regular enemies you're supposed to use consumable items on, but they respawn infinitely. Yeah, that can be really annoying. That can be extra annoying. Actually, God, oh, there was something like this, actually. There was a thing in Dark Souls where skeletons would only revive to get, like, divine damage on them. And usually you can just find divine weapon, but if you don't, there's, like, not in Dark Souls OG, but I think in later ones, there's, like, consumables where you can use, like, you know, holy grease or whatever to, like, make them stay dead. And it's like, yeah, but they're gonna revive. So unless you can do something like Elden Ring where you can easily farm the materials again, that's fine. But in other games like Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 2, I just like either go magic build or I ignore the fact that they're reviving. I believe Sword Berserk at some sections had respawning enemies. It's not so much respawning, it's respawning if you need consumables to properly deal with them.
Lightning.
The main thing we're talking about right now is consumables that are randomized, but also kind of unique to the game. It can be very frustrating. Alright, yes, look at that big old 9,999. Storage limit is the solution to the hoarding problem. It can be, yeah. A storage limit can force you to actually use your items. Another good option is to just, like, make sure the player knows that they're going to be able to get more of it. Or make it very clear when you should use it. Like, let's say you have a really, really unique potion you're only getting 1 of. But the game has a system where if you die, you just reload your previous save, so you don't lose items. And the NPC you get it from is like, you have helped me with this very personal quest. Take this. It is specifically supposed to give you an advantage against this monster. Or you can be subtle and hint at it, like maybe a giant dragon would not like the anti-dragon potion. You know, like subtle, you can be a little more subtle. My point is, make it clear that you're supposed to use the rare one of one potion on the enemy you're giving it to them for. So that they're not thinking they should save everything for later. Because again, that can just be a big problem in general. At least that I find.
Let's
at that point, the consumables should just be key items. Yeah, it's a hard line. Like, you're not wrong there. Like, at that point, why not just make them only key items? So maybe one-of-one consumables are just kind of suck in general. I don't know. I feel like the idea of a one-of-one item is that it gives you a unique effect that's potent and powerful. But the whole idea of consumables is they're supposed to be small little boosts that you cannot feel bad about throwing away if you screw it up. And the idea that I screw it up and I ruined everything, and that being like the whole thing, is kind of devastating, I find, and gamers don't want to take the risk a lot of times. They just kind of don't. Alright. Damn. I wanted to get that parry. Alright, we've got 2 more turns. We've got him down to half health. We've had... Yeah, we got this. We got this. We got this. Alright, let's go for a Pierce. Oh, look at that go. Oh, look at that. When my L used Pierce on an enemy while in Virtuous Stance. Hey, look, the exact move I just did. It was, like, super liked by the game. I got a Chivo. You got storage that holds all the items, weapon, material, and armor you get in Altair Sophia 2. Atelier Sophia 2. Sorry, I keep Sophie 2. And if that's full, then you need to remove some of the materials in order to get more. Problem is, the entire reason you're hoarding materials is because you're anticipating using them later down the line. So what you need to get rid of now, but you find yourself needing later, oh god, cursed game design problems. One-of-one consumables is like trying to make a Sudoku a real-time combat system. It really is. And I get also your problem, Dawn Seeker. That can be frustrating. I won't make games easier because I'm afraid I need those resources later. Proceeds to end the game with suspiciously stacked items. Yeah, and then if you use them at the final boss becomes a chump. Because if you have all the world-ending items that are supposed to make you like a fucking temporarily one-of-one fight god, and you use it on the final boss looks like a pushover, which can kind of be anticlimactic just a bit, you know? Oh, look at this go. Oh, yeah! So we stunned him too, so we're gonna get a full other turn. Look at that. We're wrecking this guy's shit. Look at me go! Yes! Strike steps. Alright, he's gonna flee next turn. We just gotta kill him this turn. It's gonna be fine. We got this. Alright, so he's got another turn, so I'm going to go ahead and use another item. We can just do his ult move again. Oh, shoot. Nope. Alright, now you got to use the ride tent on him. Alright, now we're going to use that perfect break again. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Pierce. Okay, we got this. I just have to hit him with as much damage as I can. Let's go for a Thunderfall. Wreck it. No! Oh wait, no, I got him! I got him with the fire damage! Yes! I thought I screwed it up, but I got him with the fire damage. This music, man, nice change of pace from what I was forced to listen to moments ago. Yeah, I know, the music in this game is fantastic. This is why I'm not tying components to material type. It was a big mistake that was made in Atelier LAS, but truly showing its ugliness in Atelier Sophie 2. Yeah, it be like that sometimes. Well, we beat it. We beat the challenge. I like them consistently hitting 9,999. Although I'm wondering if that means I'm getting close to the end of the game. I've heard it's like a 3-act game from a few people, but I don't really know the details of what the triggers are between Act 2 or 3. Are we in Act 3? That would feel really short for like a full game like this. I've heard like really good things about it. But then again, we've got another kaiju boss to fight. We can fight the other optional kaiju bosses too. Might do that in my spare time though. Is that a gigantic ball of rags with a bunch of weird face masks on it? Weird. Oh, also, I went and saw, so I have officially seen How to Train Your Dragon, the live-action remake. And my thoughts on it. It is disorienting and a worse version of what has already been made. There is literally just no reason to go see it. However, it has made me wonder something else. Because see, one of the things I love is the Temeraire franchise. You know, Dragon, you can now start ranting about how great it is. Thank you for watching it. However, I've always held up that the amount of effects budget you would have to give for a movie to have a bunch of uniquely designed dragons that all look good in a big budget movie would be way too much. However, How to Train Your Dragon, the live action movie, has proven me wrong. You can totally do that. So my question to the movie industry is, where the fuck is my Temeraire adaptation? You uncultured swines. Where is it? Give it to me. Get it out of production hell and give me that goddamn movie. Yes, that is that was my overarching thought on how Train Your Dragon movie is. If this exists, why the hell didn't we just get a Temeraire movie? That would have been infinitely more interesting. Well spoken, Fafnir. It's a whole thing. Man, oh man.
Ready to parry.
Oh. Yes. Jump attack. Honestly, jump attacks are pretty easy. What was the effects budget? Probably pretty massive. It looked really good. So, probably a lot of money. And I understand what you're arguing, is that Temeraire is a relatively obscure name versus a big money name like How to Train Your Dragon, so obviously it's going to get a smaller budget. And you'd probably need that massive budget. Let's see here. Budget. The movie's budget. Because a lot of it's going to probably be on it. Although, we did have the same voice actor for Stoic, which I didn't realize the guy who was playing Stoic was Gerard Butler at first. So I was like, wow, he sounds like a lot like Gerard Butler. Like, uncannily so at times. And then I looked it up later, and my mom was like, wasn't it Gerard Butler? And I'm like, oh, it was Gerard Butler. Okay. Weird. That's a weird effect. The actors are all doing their best. I kind of like the person they had for Astrid. Although, because she's African-American, one of the effects budget is still probably relevant. That's true. I still say they should make it. It'd still probably be a really good movie. If probably going to give it a try. I feel like I've talked with people about it too, and I'm like, I feel like more people would go for it if they saw a trailer for it. Like, then again, that's me with my wishes that more obscure franchises could get some overhead. Because I don't mind adaptations. Adaptations can be great. JoJo is an adaptation. You know, anime in general is mostly adaptations, but a lot of it is great. I just find remakes can be contentious, although even they can be good. My review is definitely going to end up being, though, about how the old movies were good and not trying to shit on these. For unknown ones, too. Well, yeah, but they were also given chances by DreamWorks back in their prime. Also, well, I didn't even say that. DreamWorks still does good work, in my opinion. The Bad Guys was a decent movie. Completely unique premise. Let's just take, like, the big bad wolf, essentially, and a bunch of scary animals and give them, like, turn them into heist movie characters. That was a fun movie. Good animation. Good. They were clearly going for that, like, kind of, like, comic book-esque style from Spider-Verse. Favorite dragon from the How to Train Your Dragon series. The Whispering Death is crazy. I mean, I'm assuming we're saying aside from the Night Fury, because I have a feeling, like, Toothless is my favorite. I'm just gonna say it. I love the personality they gave him. They gave him so much personality. He looks so cool. The Plasma Blast are awesome. But aside from the Night Fury, because, you know, obviously if you're asking about this, you want an interesting answer. Oh god, what would be my favorite? I mean, the Skrill is awesome. Like the whole channeling of lightning from storms thing was really cool. And I like that he had Dagger, like, obsess over it in the show.
My turn.
Damn, the show was actually kind of fun. Also, the movie, so the movie had this weird moment, though, too, for me, where, I'm not really sure I'd even call it a criticism, but it felt a little, I don't know, token. They had this whole, so they have Astrid recast as, like, an African-American character. No, she did, she did an amazing job. Fantastic. She nailed the role. I actually really liked her. She did a really good job for Astrid, and, quite frankly, almost matched the original voice actor. Very good. But the main thing is that they have this whole thing about how, like, Berk is no longer just a bunch of Vikings who settled somewhere and were too stubborn to leave. Instead, now there are a bunch of tribes from all over the world who got together to form a larger tribe to specifically hunt dragons. And it's not really called out because the script is mostly a one-to-one copy of the original. I'll get to that in a second. But there's this, one of the only, I think, basically one of the only new scenes, actually I think this might be the only new scene, is a slight addition before they do the whole, we need to go hunt the dragon's nest. There's this big thing where Stoic is trying to, like, make him hunt. In the original movie, he just kind of says, anyone who doesn't want to do it will look after Hiccup. Instead, he's like, how'd you lose that leg fighting a dragon? It's like, yes, and you came from the Far East, and you from the southern lands, and all this stuff, and like, Wait, are we just doing a diversity roll call? Because this feels a lot like diversity roll call. And they did it, and it was, like, weirdly obvious. And again, I have no problem. I loved, like, it doesn't really matter because it's an adaptation. You can do whatever you want, but it just felt, like, weird. Like, yeah, sure, I guess explain it, but, like, you didn't really need to. We're kind of just fine with having actors be whatever they are. We're talking about Vikings going to fight dragons in, like, a time period that is notoriously, among fans, impossible to place. Like, they don't even, like, this is not a historically accurate kind of thing. Too on the nose. Exactly, it was, like, way too on the nose. Which is weird, because they excluded, like, the whole, like, disabled thing, which the original already had a lot of disabled representation. Because you had Gobber, so its best friend, who had lost, like, a leg and an arm, and the main characters, Toothless and Hiccup, both became, like, disabled and relied on each other to support each other. But they didn't even seem to understand that, like, symbolism either. Sigh, yes, I see. It's just another catch-up. Well, it's not, though. It's the thing. It's not really. It's the only scene. It's just that one scene. That's it. That's all it is. Forcing inclusivity. Well, no, it's not even that. It's that, like, it's a one scene, it's done poorly, and it's not really supposed to be there. And it sticks out because the rest of the movie, gods, this is not necessarily a criticism, but this is like a copy-paste of the script. And it's done in a really weird way. So have you ever heard of people who, like, plagiarize? Diversity is not what they did in the remake. Not what did the remake in. Exactly, it's not what did the remake in. I will say, though, watching this movie was a surreal experience for me. And not necessarily in, like, I think it's just terrible that they made a remake. It's surreal because the script is, like, I'd say around 70 to 80% a copy-paste of the original script. Like, they literally took the script and just did a copy-paste for most of it. However, the 30 to 20% that is not copy-paste is not new dialogue. Not really. Most of the new dialogue only makes about 5% of the movie. Because violent thoughts about getting temporary movies made me scream so loud I literally can't hear you. Yeah, sorry about that. I shouldn't have led with that. But the worst part is most of the new dialogue is the stupidest. Exactly, to whoever. And I know the movie script by heart. I used to fall asleep with the How to Train Your Dragon movie on, like, for an entire summer. I used to do that. I used to literally just have it playing as I fell asleep because I loved it that much. Exactly, it's there for diversity's sake, not because it was necessary a plot diversity. Yeah, but the Astrid actor does a great job. Like, I don't care if they made Astrid black. I don't care that. She's good at the role. Choose the actor that's good at the role. But the whole scene just felt like it felt like the casting crew just, like, kind of patting themselves on the back and were like, yeah, we need to insert a scene that tells us how cool we're being. And I'm just like, it gives very hello there fellow kids vibes, but, like, for whatever group they're trying to target with that. People are different colors, and not like Pikachu. Exactly. And the main thing, though, is the rest of the script. Because that one scene is, like, less than 5 minutes long. It's not a huge part of the movie. You could literally read my full rule. Doesn't mean the actor was bad. Oh, no, I read it. I met it. Mean Girls. No, I read it. And you are right. You're talking about how they were just, like, talking about it for the sake of it. And it is very true. I agree with you there. But the rest of the movie script is the thing I have a problem with. Because it feels like a person who plagiarized without wanting you to know they plagiarized, so they went through the script, found a few words, and replaced them with similes. I will say the changes generally try to make things less comedic, either through delivery or through removal of certain lines. Like, one of the scenes I think the only scene I can say they removed was the scene where, hear me out, post-production. People will get mad about that because of historical, like, whitewashing or whatever, and also blackface. That scene was weird. Yeah, that's whiteface, exactly. Yeah, people will get angry about that. People are stupid. They will get angry about literally anything. We can turn a guy gold, but the other one is not good. If you try to do it with real skin colors, it's creepy. For historical reasons. Whether or not that's a thing, I don't want to get into that topic. I really don't want to touch that topic with 10-foot pole. I'm sorry. No, the rest of the script, though, is the thing I have the problem with. Again, this is like a minor thing. It's literally less than 5 minutes. It's not a big deal. It's the only new scene they altered. You could literally just ignore it. zone out and just chomp on popcorn for a few seconds. The main problem I have is they take out the comedic bits. For example, they remove the line of anyone who stays except for Hiccup. Or they remove that one scene that has Hiccup, like, you know, when the harness gets stuck and he has to go into the village at night and an Astra nearly catches him. Yeah, that's just removed. That was too funny, it was too weird. That doesn't make any sense. You could just cut the line. It felt like trying to make it a little more realistic, but again, it was all done so half-heartedly that it's not really more realistic. They just removed a bit of comedy from it. They made the scenes a little less comedic. And then there's the other changes, which are basically, hey, this, but instead it's called that. Like, the best way I can describe it is there was the first time I really noticed it really hard. I'd already been getting a weird feeling as I played the script of the original in my head as I was watching it, because I would hear a beginning of a line and it'd be thrown off and ended differently. And the time I nailed down what was going on was Gobber's leading Hiccup back to his house. He's talking to him and Hiccup's going like, every time he looks at me, it's like somebody skimped on the meat in his sandwich. That's how the original goes, at least. This time it's someone skimped on the meat in his stew. It was literally just like a pointless change for no other reason other than for the writer to not feel like they're copy-pasting the original script. And it's all over the place. If you have watched the original enough times to know certain lines, it is off-putting. Because they changed lines for the sake of changing them, not because they had a new vision. If they wanted to say something different or make a new joke that they thought was funny, I'd be fine with it, but they're just taking the other jokes and saying them with different words. Like changing sandwich to stew for no reason. It drives me a bit mad, because if you want to say something different, say something different. If you don't. This, like, half-hearted, I want to write the same story, but I want to make it look like I wrote it, reeks of, like, I don't want to say plagiarism, but it feels like plagiarism. It feels like somebody trying to plagiarize a paper. And it felt really weird. It's probably one of the things I dislike most about the movie, is that if it's going to just make it a live-action script of the original, just do that. You don't need to do all this extra bullshit. If you're not going to make a new movie, then just try to make the best copy-paste you are. Which one is more authentic to the book? Neither? Because both of them tell a completely different story. And yes, they could have just told a new book story. We've been over that before, but Hollywood doesn't want to, because Toothless as a Night Fury is more iconic than Toothless is like a small little basic dragon, you know. So, small garden dragon. And unfortunately, that's the one that they wanted to monetize. It felt so... Like, there was clearly effort on display, which kind of shocked me. Like, the effects, the peach-coated book of How to Treat Your Dragons is drastically... Coated the book of How to Treat Your Dragons is drastically different. I know. He knows. He knows that. I've talked with Assembly about that before. And we talked about how if they wanted to make a live-action remake, they could have just made a version of the original. Actually, especially if you wanted to sell it to kids, that would have been way better, because I'd say that in general, I mean...
Get ready.
Well, there are parts of the book that are a little bit weird, but, like, yeah, generally speaking, I would say the books are more different than the movies became. On average. But, and you'd probably get more kids there with it. Plus, you'd get, like, fans to see a whole new version of it. It's kind of both... Honestly, adapting the original material that got heavily adapted the first time as something new as a remake is probably one of the golden opportunities that I will always be kind of mad at this movie for. Because I've never got super into the books, but maybe this would have been a chance for me to get into them. The other thing is that they're clearly trying... Okay, this is the other thing, too. The reason I know that they weren't trying to do anything interesting with their small little mini rewrites, that doesn't mean one drastically different thing can't be closer than another drastically different thing. Exactly. Fair. I still say they're the same, though, because they're literally the same thing. It's not like they're doing two different drastically different things. They're doing the same drastically different thing, just one's doing it slightly poorer. I guess... Technically, the original, maybe, because they mentioned Valka in the original, it was Valhalla, or whatever her name is. So she has a slightly different name in the original, and they mentioned her name briefly. Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing I want to get into. So, they're clearly trying to set up movies 2 and 3. Duh. They want to play movie 2, because that's going to be a huge hit. I'm not even going to joke about it. If you can get Drago as, like, Draco Bloodfist as, like, a live-action character, I feel like a lot of people will go for that, because he's really brutal, he can be kind of more intense. They're not going to, but I can see why they want to tease it. However, there's this thing, and it comes back to the whole they're copy-pasting the script. in the original thing, they talk about how, like, you know, I wish Valka were here, and they kind of mention her, you know, brief aside. It was one of the few clear new additions they made to the movie, and it's like a handful of new lines. Like I said, there are about 5% of the lines where it's not dumb, and it's just like additional stuff to flesh things out. Because originally, the first one, they didn't know they were going to have a sequel. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And then there's this interesting moment, okay, in the original, where Stoic makes one of the only lines that proves the writers might have been thinking about things. When he drags Hiccup away after the nightmare, after the whole thing with the nightmare in the ring, there's this moment where he says, I should have seen the signs. And a lot of people have retconned that to kind of mean he should have seen the signs of someone getting too close to dragons, like Valka did. Now he's scared Hiccup's going to be taken away, which is why he's being protective. You know, when be actually happy with these remakes, if you would make more realistic version, already turn this into an R-rated movie. I don't think How to Train Your Dragon needs to become R-rated. I really don't. But there's the same things happens in the movie. I'm like, oh, maybe he's gonna scream about something like how that's what your mother killed or something like that. You know, like a bit more foreshadowing for when we learn about Valka and the later stuff. But instead, he starts ranting about how she would be ashamed of him for trying to befriend a dragon. And I'm like, wait. You do the whole I should have seen the sign things, and then while you're ranting at him, you say your mother would be ashamed of you. It's one of the other new lines they added. And it's like, you guys tried to set up the original movie for Valka, you know, Dragon Woman, the one who, like, tried to defend dragons and, like, tried to stop people from killing dragons and, like, wanted you to stop warring with them. That Valka would probably be, like, super happy that Tika had befriended a dragon. Even Stoic would have known that. So it's like weird. I can see how you Train Your Dragon R-rated movie and even use it to the advantage. I mean, fanfic writers have too. I've read harsher stuff that has like an R-rated movie. I mean, Hitchup's probably would end up being an R-rated movie just because of the sex scene, or just because Hiccup got laid. But like, that doesn't necessarily mean I'd want to see it as like a full movie. It's interesting as a fan work. Then again, I'm kind of lying. I would love to see Hitchups as a movie, but I also think they would do it dirty as a movie. It's way too long. It has a bunch of side tangents, because it's all about the adventure they went on and stuff like that, so it would probably work better as a show. Read Hitchups. Seriously, if you want slightly darker How to Train Your Dragon, just read Hitchups. It's amazing. It's fucking fantastic. The writer did like a bunch of research for it too. Okay, we lie to ourselves all the time. Things we'd rather not confront about each other. Isn't that human nature? Not even sex scenes, bloodier and grittier and all that stuff. Yeah, it also has bloodier and grittier. It also has more emotional stuff. One of the big things is that Hiccup ends up running. The big divergent event for the fanfiction is that Hiccup ends up running away with Toothless to go live the world, and everyone else is left back on Berk. And instead of things staying the same, they get worse. The queen in this story essentially starts getting stronger and stronger as time goes on. The Vikings get ready for more and more food. Things are getting more and more brutal, and Hiccup only finds about it later on as he gets wrapped in with a bunch of other stuff. So he comes back, and he and Astrid actually have to confront each other because they're no longer kids who are just bickering over a, childish, loss of a spot. Astrid's had to watch, friends of hers or other villagers die. She's had to watch kids grow up in a more and more increasingly brutal battlefield. Fish likes to start statistically modeling stuff, and he's finally realizing that, yeah, if the raids continue to increase, we're not going to have enough food, and it's expanding outwards, getting worse and worse. We might be the last generation. It's a lot more, like, grounded in what it would actually be like to experience worse and worse raids over time, and what that would do to their food supplies. And this is a side thing with Astrid while Hiccup is out exploring the world and learning himself and interacting with Toothless. Because a lot of it is kind of like more of an adventure story with Toothless, but then when they get back and he has to finally confront the people he left, he kind of like originally shows up like, hey, I wanted to learn more about the war, but it was like, yeah, but I actually learned a lot of that stuff like a long time ago, and I took my time coming back because I thought nothing would change and it didn't really matter, and that you wouldn't listen regardless. And there's this big conversation where Astrid's like, but it did change. It's like, yes, you didn't come back to save us. You came back because you just realized it later. Yeah. You didn't leave to save us. You abandoned us. Yes. And they have to kind of confront that he didn't come back. He didn't plan to come back. He planned to abandon them forever and disappear into nothing. And she has to confront the fact that they need him. They need his knowledge. They need his advice. And he has to confront the fact that, yeah, he abandoned his tribe and his family, and he's probably going to leave afterwards. and the characters had to kind of grow up while he was gone. It's brought up a few times. It's actually a really good story. Like, seriously, I cannot recommend Hitchups enough. If you read any fanfiction ever, read Hitchups. It is a very well-written story by an author who has a great deal of passion and knowledge. They did a lot of research for the time period. They actually decided to set it in an actual time period instead of having it in just a nebulous
I'll do
period.
it.
So they actually like set it around this time period, had all the stuff going on. You get to see a few other things as well. They did a decent amount of language research, so whenever you show another language on Hiccup's adventure, he actually has to like learn the language and kind of piece it together. I'm not sure how accurate it all is, but he actually included reference sources, which was very, very impressive. Like, the end of each chapter is sort of like a reference period for all of these sources, so you can actually fully fact check, which is kind of nice.
Grace.
He did kind of his own thing, and it worked out really well. There is a bit more fantasy elements where you have like the Norse gods being real in this one, but they're very indirect as gods can be in a lot of more modern stories. So they're not really doing a lot of direct intervention. The closest is that one of the things I liked. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. Basically, just go watch it. I mean, not go watch it. Go read it. It's really good. Actually, if you're just in for like slightly more mature stories, the author did another How to Train Your Dragon story that's pretty mature. And it's basically, what if Hiccup and Toothless were attacked by the Queen when they brought Astrid? And they still won the battle, but now Astrid has to deal with Hiccup no longer being his leg, no one knowing where they are, and Toothless being grounded without him, because she doesn't know how to fly. And the tail fin has been burnt out. And she essentially has to get them home from the nest after that fateful flight.
Good.
So basically, like, what if the battle kind of happened like it did? You know, Hiccup was able to go attack the Queen with Toothless immediately. But Astrid had to watch as they were both injured. Hiccup's lost his leg now she has to figure out how to get them home with Toothless, who, again, at this point in the story, she hasn't even known for like a few days. It's literally just been, I met you a few hours ago, and now I have to, you know, work with you to get home, even though we can't speak. That one is also a really good story, although it's not like the best story ever, like the Hitchup. Hitchup is generally has my pick for best fanfic ever. Just him. Sorry, I went off a bit of a tangent there, but it's just really good, and not enough people have heard it. It even got the first two or three chapters turned into an audiobook, which is like insane for me. And it has crossovers with other artists making their own crossovers with it. Yes, people have made specifically Hitchup crossovers. That's how good it is. It has people willing to make story crossovers with it in the How to Train Your Dragon fandom space on like fanfiction.net or Archive of Our Own. It's a very good story that does not get anywhere near enough press because people hear fanfic and immediately kind of dismiss it. Really good story. But now back to How to Train Your Dragon. Back to How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon was like a 10 out of 10 movie, so a slightly worse copy of it with a few dumb lines is still like a 7 or 6 out of 10 movie because they essentially were already starting from perfection, which kind of sucks. I mean, if you compare it to the original, it's obviously bad, but like that way or another, I feel R rating should be used best to make things brutal and more emotional instead of putting on unnecessary skin play. Yeah, but like violence generally just gets you a PG-13. Like, if Deadpool removed all sexual references from it and removed this, like, the sex scene, it would probably be a PG-13 movie. I'm sorry. Violence doesn't generally get you an R rating. It just doesn't. Sometimes, if it's really gory, you can get an R rating, but generally speaking, it's sexual content. Or an excessive number of curse words. If you tone down the curse words and tone down the sexual content, but leave all the violence, basically every RA movie would probably just be PG-13. Like, horror movies, I find, generally have to, like, go out of their way of it to become horror. You have to actively push the violence in it. This is America. Have you been to an American school? Yeah, I mean, you're not really that super wrong, so...
Lightning strike.
Lightning strike. Yeah, it's weird. I've always thought that the rating system, at least how they do sexual content, being like way worse than anything else is bizarre. Fair point, though. Yeah, and again, it's not that hard to make something. I feel like PG-13 is like a super easy spot to throw people. The problem with Astro being black and white is broad pattern recognition of a recent screen of live action remakes deliberately replacing white characters with black characters. Yeah, it's not this movie's fault because again, you have to remember this isn't Disney. This is DreamWorks. This is the first DreamWorks adaptation. And it's not like they did it to like the main character. I mean, it wouldn't have probably mattered to me if they did the main character or not. But, you know, it is different, I think, from what Disney has been doing. Isn't decapitation? Well, yeah, but like that's a very, like what I said, your violence has to be pretty extreme. Also, I'm not sure decapitation entirely gets you PG-13. I think maybe if you're showing the gut, you're showing the internals as you decapitate, maybe. But I think there are ways to get decapitation in PG-13. I'm nearly positive. There probably are. Maybe excessive decapitation can get you knocked into R rating. Let's see here, R rating movies. What does that get you?
Let's carve a path.
Because I know I've seen some pretty brutal stuff in PG-13 things. Also, one of the other things is that it depends on how realistic the violence is. Like, cartoonishly brutal violence is considered less impactful than realistic violence. Like, John Wick brutally shoving a scotch glass into a guy's face and him bleeding out. Oh, JK must have been... Wait, I thought JK was going to push for that or something. Wasn't that like one of her big Twitter rants? No, decapitation can be shown, not that graphically, but Austin with plenty of ketchup. Yeah, like, I mean, like, think about it. Steadily makes state black coded. I don't want to talk about that because, like, I get why it's a problem if they keep trying to force it, but I also feel like there are plenty of, like, good actors. Like, Idris Elba in the, as the casting for Heimdall. Okay? Like, he was fantastic in that role. And they just didn't... I know there was, like, controversy when it happened, but for the most part, it just seems like people forgot about it, and it just was allowed to be a good role with a good actor. Or Nick Fury being Samuel L. Jackson. People love that change. Nick Fury was, from what I understand from the comics, was actually kind of fucking boring until Samuel L. Jackson added his flair to the guy. And now people freaking love that. So if you're just choosing a good actor for the role, then it's fine. But if you're choosing it specifically for that, then that just feels iffy to me. That's my view on it. If you're choosing good actors because they do good work, I don't care what their general appearance is. I mean, people are angry that Annabelle isn't a blonde, and I'm like, what does that have to do with her character? Or her place in the story? How can I tell if it's forced versus people just telling it's forced? That's the problem. That's the problem, though. Like, I'm not sure I can entirely tell if this was forced or not. Because, in one hand, the writers clearly made a scene about it. On the other hand, Sam Nick was also a different take other than just inaccurate color. Very different, and I like that take. And apparently, Marvel agrees with me, too, because apparently the in-comics version of him has become... I know the Ultimate version is essentially Sam Jackson, but, like, apparently he's been showing up in other stuff as, like, that version, so... Everyone screamed that the actor would be playing Kylo Ren in Star Wars would be perfect Snape. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea about, like, what the casting is looking like.
Well,
for
that
it.
will help.
I'm not sure Kylo Ren, but I've only seen the guy in a few things. And most of it was the new Star Wars, and he was one of the my least favorite parts about the new Star Wars. I legitimately like The Last Jedi. I do not like Kylo Ren at all. I think he was a whiny asshole character. I get what he was going for. He's essentially a dark side fanboy, but it just kind of fell flat in a lot of ways. And then they kind of just completely... And then the reason I dislike the remakes is not necessarily because of The Last Jedi. I just like it because they were like, okay, so we're gonna tease your nostalgia. Then we're gonna show you how holding on to the past and trying to constantly recreate it is bad. Now we're gonna go with a brand new future. Oh no, we're gonna wank the past so hard they're gonna forget about it.
So
We're gonna wank the past so hard they'll never forget what it is.
We should take it out. It would definitely be an advantage against Iran.
So it's like a weaver creating things. First Ultimate version, then main to do shenanigans. So it's tirelessly, grossing his work. Yes, I will attack it regardless. I'm gonna attack the defenseless guy.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's
Storm
go.
is
All right. Ice Lance.
Ice. Shatter.
The actor themselves actually being a good actor. Exactly. That's why I don't think this one was stunt casting. I think this was just they had a good actor. And that scene would have probably been there regardless. The weird one is that they didn't go for like identical twins with Tough and Rough Night though. Like they look pretty different, which is weird. They just kind of turned into a joke though, although the twins are just kind of whatever. Again, a lot of the side characters are kind of weird because all their jokes were just like slightly reworded, and they just kind of suck. Although it is weird what they did with Spite Lab. Oh, that was the other thing I noticed. So this is a really subtle thing. And it doesn't come up that much, but like Snot Loud is constantly trying to do. You know, if any of you watch the show, the How to Train Your Dragons like Dragon Riders of Berk show, you might know that Spite Loud is like super, you know, hard on Snot Loud. It turns out, but he just like acts super impressive as long as he's constantly successful. Hello, advertiser. Please do not send stuff here. Sorry, Twitch advertiser. Please no. And in this one, he's like, I don't want to see you talk. I don't want to talk to you in public. And I'm like, wait, isn't that like the opposite of Spite Loud? I mean, sure, I guess, whatever. He's still super hard on Snot Loud, so it, you know, I guess it works. They kind of just threw in a bit of subtle background details with like a slightly different. Oh, ow!
Would have lived.
Okay, so it can like weave like weird fish things out of cloth. That's pretty cool. It was like almost like
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say it's like 4. Yeah, I think it was like 4 lines in total. Like once getting off the boat, once at the beginning, once getting off the boat, once in the arena where you're gonna have like isn't doing the best, and then once at the very end is kind of like I'm proud of you now. It's like 4-line character growth, and it might be the most interesting and meaningful change they made to the whole thing, which says all you need to know about their changes to the secondary dialogue line. Honestly, the stuff they did was not that impactful, and then you wonder why they're not there. But again, Astrid's actor is pretty good. They changed her backstory, which is kind of like she's essentially a nobody. She doesn't have like a big family or anything like that. She's an orphan, and they made it so that she's trying to prove herself as like a leader, you know. Which I thought was pretty cool. I like that. I like the idea behind that. Give her like even more motivation. Now I know. In the original, she had the motivation of wanting to restore her family name. If you've ever seen that, because like the whole thing in the original is there's this dragon that breathes this like parallelic mist, and it only comes out during like auroras to feed on this specific type of fungi. It's this weird episode. But the whole thing with it is that Astrid's uncle was like named Fearless because he was supposed to be like the most fearless Viking ever. Oh shit!
Didn't
Damn,
really
I'm not
need
doing
it.
anything to attack all. But this thing is supposed to be the most terrifying because it makes Vikings freeze in place.
Okay.
And he froze to it, and it was like a big disgrace for their family. But it's revealed that, oh, actually, it's just because it's breathes paralytic mist, so it's not actually that big a deal. And
Let us
it was
stay
pretty good motivation. It showed why in the original movie she was so desperate to prove herself. In this one, she wants to prove that she's like the best and become someone and eventually become chief. Because I guess in this one, it's not like, you know, inherited. It's whoever's the best gets the position. And Hiccup is like very much just like, yeah, my dad already knows you're the best and probably would just kind of hand you the position. Let's be real. Oh shoot. Oh no. Parry. So that's just weird. It's like 3 or 4 lines of dialogue they add after the they read the Book of Dragons.
ready.
And can I think of any other place they add new dialogue? So they add new dialogue before they set off to the boats during Stowe's trying to get everyone to go there. They add new dialogue when
Here's your card.
Astrid is talking to Hiccup after the Book of Dragons. They add a few lines of Spite Loud. And that's, oh shoot, I got cursed again. That sucks. God damn it. Frick.
Oh, really?
Parried. The original was better. Yeah, the original was better. Again, it's not terrible if you haven't watched the original. Like, if you haven't watched the original, you might even think it's a decent movie. Because it's essentially just a slightly worse version of a timeless classic that is amazing in every respect. So obviously, if it's doing 80% to 70% of the original as its own movie, of course it's going to be pretty decent. because it's essentially copying a perfect work and making it slightly worse.
Before I die?
But that's the thing for me, is that like it feels like everything they added is just the worst part of the movie.
Here we go.
Really sucks. It's a shame.
Here's your car.
It's a shame because this is like one of the few remakes where they had material to work with and they chose not to. Oof.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna die in 3 turns. Alright, let's do a Phantom Blade. 9,999. Yeah, so my review, so I've decided I'm not talking about a review of these movies. I feel like, again, what I've said here is just going through the change scenes and talking about the weird scenes that are kind of changed, but not really. And I don't feel like doing that for like 15, 20 minutes, or even like 5 or 10 minutes. So I've got that out of the way here. So I'm just going to talk about the originals and how good they actually are. Same thing with Stitch. I might try and do like a twins thing where I talk about both of them back to back and release the videos similar to each other. You know, get them ready together and then release them together. That might be good.
Here's your car. Pick your shot.
Damn it.
Let's play.
This point accepted that good faith creative remakes are in the past. I don't like thinking that way though, because like, if I do that, if I just dismiss all remakes as cash grabs, I mean, maybe I'll just say that like, I'm going to look at, I've decided at this point that if you are adapting something, but it feels like you're adapting it because you want to change its
So he
medium, not
creates
because you want
all
to
of that
adapt it
for
fully.
her.
But that medium is so similar. I don't even want to say that, but like, if you're taking something that's in that's animated and you're turning it to live action, I'm looking at you with incredible amounts of superstition, because it feels like you're taking something from a medium that already does it perfectly well, and trying to act like the other medium does it worse. That's the vibe I get from it. And I get this very pretentious vibe from it. That's what I tend to feel. I'll know when a good one comes out. Exactly. Yeah.
Ice.
I'll give them a chance in the background, but it's kind of like how the Puss in Boots movies for me. When the Puss in Boots The Last Wish came out, I kind of wrote it off because I assumed any Puss in Boots movie was gonna be terrible. Eventually, I heard it was good, and I watched it, and yeah, it's amazing. But that's kind of the view I'm taking on live-action remakes from now on. If a good one is out, I will hear about it. But until then, I have to basically just assume that they're not. Damn it! I got cursed.
Let's carve a path.
I was even trying to like. All right. I think I can heal all status conditions though with a healing tincture.
I would have lived.
Chroma's flowing.
No, I can't. Damn it. Are we gonna try and use this to heal status ailments maybe?
On guard.
What desperately needs a remake? You can see what's coming. You won't guess. What? What needs a remake? Because there are plenty of things I think deserve remakes. I mean, look at Voltron. Voltron was an amazing remake. It was still animated, but it was amazing.
Okay.
That was an amazing remake. I mean, yeah, it kicked the bed in later seasons, but those first few seasons were iconic. Or like, just look at like, I mean, just anything really. Any animated show from like decades ago that got a new animated series, and they kind of like nailed it. Honestly, even Thundercats. I wasn't a Thundercats fan, but I kind of liked the old, that new one they did a few years back on Network. They didn't get a second season, but I liked it. Yu-Gi-Oh! That adapts season 0, then Duel Monsters manga version, follows it up till its end. That would be epic. Like a Yu-Gi-Oh! That's not trying to hold itself back for the sake of ratings. That would be amazing. Okay, I removed the curse. So her ability can remove the curse. So that's going to be her job going forward. Whereas my L will be coming in here to do some damage. I watched the She-Ra remake. Oh yeah, the She-Ra remake was amazing. That's another one. A great example. Honestly, Netflix for a while was cranking out those... Netflix was kind of the king for a little while of remakes of old 80s live action stuff that done to perfection. They kind of nailed it. Even the ones that didn't like hit super hard were still decent and still pretty good. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX manga version. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX kind of goes hard on its own, Zane died of a heart attack midway through his duel. Like, and he went to like an underground torture duel ring where you get shocked with electric colors whenever you lose life points. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX went pretty hard at times. It had a full-on cult brainwashing thing going on too. And Yu-Bell was outright trying to like end the world and like killing people and banishing them to the stars. Like, come on. What more do you want? I mean, maybe it could get more brutal, but I feel like GX came around, they were already willing to like let it breathe a little bit more.
Use your flair.
Alright.
Good stuff.
Now that I've been cured of the curse, we're all good.
Ready to parry.
Oh, we got another one of the little, like, weird fish things.
Let's keep going.
Parry. That attack is super easy to parry.
This
Let's
will
go. Alright.
Run.
Getting virtuous stance back. Virtual stunts. Oh god, not the threats of death again. We can't dodge them either.
Storm is coming.
I guess it just happens. Screw that. Healing mode. Once I discovered this can heal that, I basically just like own this boss because the attacks aren't that damaging. It should be cool, but GX doesn't care anymore and doesn't even take its own world seriously anymore, I feel. As little as the previous ones did GX does anything like, what are you talking about? Be wasted. My goodwill was wasted by seeing this remake, this sequel, that all butchered. So unfortunately, it's a long road to pay my attention. And you know what? Just like watching other people's reviews and not watching stuff until you've already heard that it's really decent and not wasting your time on all this trash is a completely valid option.
Okay.
That's why people like me review stuff, so we can tell you, hey, this is good, it actually deserves your attention. And I'm telling you, the How to Train Your Dragon and Stitch remakes do not deserve your attention. The Stitch one, I've just determined based on everything I've seen. I'm not going to see that. I'm not. I've already decided. We're going to talk about Lilo and Stitch Original and all the cool things it did. Not going to talk about the other one, no.
Precision.
Go watch the sequel movies. Even the straight-to-video movies are better than that trash they released. What I'm talking about is that even suspending my disbelief is hard, I can hardly take GX seriously. What does GX do that you... In what way does GX make you suspend your disbelief? More than ancient Atlantean cult leaders, ancient Atlantean cult biker gang, using a magic seal from evil metal to seal people's items and souls to feed it to a giant ocean snake. In what way do you need... How does GX make you suspend your disbelief even more than the richest organization on Earth is owned by a petulant man-child, and he spends all the money to create a worldwide satellite network through virtual reality, bring virtual monsters to real life locally using dual discs, and then, afterwards, builds a fucking satellite research facility to research the Millennium Puzzle to recreate the Pharaoh with AI technology in order to bite him one last time, spending billions of dollars in the process. In what way is Duelist Academy more insane than that? I am legitimately asking the question. Oh, like I actually want to know where you draw the line here. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Original had some dumb shit in it. Remember when they got trapped in an RPG virtual reality video game by the ex-CEO, the ex-board members of Kaiba's company, and they turned into a 5-headed dragon and tried to kill Yugi in the gang? Because that also happened.
Expedition had a Lumina converter.
Yet this victory feels hollow.
Or when Kaiba blew up an entire island to make a point. After dueling on like a massive state-of-the-art battle tower one time. Let us never forget most of that effort went into recreating his hair. Oh yeah, I love that line. That might be the stupidest line in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's saying a lot. Oh man, that's fantastic. Oh, I even spent a lot of time to replicate his hair. That was one of the hardest parts. Just like, Kaiba, you might have a problem there, bud. You might have a bit of a problem, bud. Or how Kaiba still didn't believe in magic, even if you got, like, time traveled back into the alternate past universe or whatever. The man was really good at denial.
I'm ready.
Again, I don't think GX did anything that weird, all things considered. Like, really, dual monsters being spirits from a parallel dimension, and your problem is on the evil alien space hole that releases evil, corruptive energy that drove a guy to create an evil space cult? Like, that's the weird part to you? But 5D is completely logical, right? The thing we love about Kaiba's arrogance is he can totally back it up. Unless it's Yugi. Unless Yugi and the Pharaoh are the ones doing it. He can back it up against anyone but that. Oh, here we go.
I'm ready.
I think I'll improvise.
Damn it.
I would have lived.
Alright, got it.
Storm is coming.
The Nazca lines are cool. They are, actually. I did like them using the Nazca lines as, like, evil sealed away monsters. That was actually pretty sweet. Not gonna deny that. Then we have the kid that can use half his deck as... that can use his deck as flame ammo. Yeah, but he only used the deck as flame ammo in the alternate universe. When the card's powers were real, so shooting the card actually, like, summoned the monster. In the regular world, he just used it to shoot cards, which is a decent gimmick for a deck who's all about igniting and blowing stuff up. It was a thematic dual disc with a toy feature for most of it, until they went to the parallel universe. Sci-fi or magic isn't the problem, but then here on Earth, ancient duelists are having modern dual discs, and then we had stupid shit like dual monsters. Well, they weren't ancient duelists though. Like, they had, like, the one guy they faced in the past was the Gravekeeper. He had, like, a weird magic duelist, which we already know they had, because we saw the Pharaoh with one, so that's already out of the way. That was main series you're complaining about. And then all the other people who were, like, cards brought to life were given dual discs, because they were, like, you know, cards that were brought to life. They were given dual discs by, like, the weird Shadow Riders, who were led by a very modern CEO, which is pretty normal fare for Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't like your cards that fire and throw them at people? And then we had stupid shit like Dual Monsters Dimension and things. Dual Monsters Dimension isn't a GX thing! That was the canon explanation for Dual Monster spirits, that are spirits projecting themselves from another world. That is literally generic original Yu-Gi-Oh! Canon.
Just try it.
It actually seems like a cool idea. That's OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Canon you're complaining about there, my friend. That was literally the explanation for dual monster spirits, and that they reside in another world, and the cards and tablets are how they like leaked into ours and were sealed away, but they're still there in the alternate universe. And they had dual discs, and it's like, yeah, but most of them were like weird organic dual discs. And sure, but that came like really late too.
Didn't really need it.
Also, that was also Yubel's whole weird corrupted thing with what's his name? Yeah, I'm aware of the stupid shit chart back then. Okay, as long as you acknowledge the stupid shit is, like, well baked into, like, the late Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, original Yu-Gi-Oh! That's fine. You want to complain about it after it was already baked into old Yu-Gi-Oh! That's fine. Then you're complaining about the whole franchise, not just, like, this particular thing. Because that's, like, a regular thing. Also, I think Zane's duel with Jesse was one of, like, the high points of the series. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a franchise, quite frankly. That duel was epic. The fact that Zane was gonna beat the big boss, but died to a fucking heart attack, still hits me. Because Zane could have won if he'd only been able to finish the duel. And watching Yubel in Jesse's body, like, shit her pants because, you know, she suddenly realized she shouldn't have fucked with Zane. You know what? One of the reasons I really liked Zane too is that, like, his deck, he was one of, like, the good examples of, like, this is, like, one of the best duelists in the show in canon, and his deck is, like, ridiculously meta. You know, the Cyber Dragon archetype has been a powerful archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! The entirety, ever since it got printed, basically, because its initial ability, get a 2,100 attack point monster out on turn, like, freaking 2 as a special summon, it turns out is really good. And his monsters all look really good. So people, like, actually played Zane's deck and felt it was powerful. Made him feel cooler as a result. Because a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonists have, like, really weird decks. Jaden, the hero archetype, was really good. That's one of the things I like, is that the best characters in the show have good decks that are actually good in the meta. It's why people don't like Rainbow Beast, though, that Jesse was supposed to be really good at the game, and his deck kind of sucked. You can't argue, though. Ancient Clan, that is also cool to Robo Dragon, shouldn't exist yet. GX is full of stupid shit like this that piles up. Yeah, but I blame that on Yu-Gi-Oh! As a franchise. Like, the entire card game's lore is based around the idea that all the cards have spirit monsters in the other world, and they have robot people from the sci-fi planet alongside ancient warriors from Egypt alongside fucking dragons. This is a result of that basic premise of the lore clashing with the cards they make. And the people who do the show generally have to make whatever cards they're told to make, essentially. They're not in charge of the card designers, from what I understand. Upgrade. Let's upgrade here. Alright, my sister used Crystal Beast. Crystal Beast aren't that great. Rainbow Dragon is powerful, if you can get it out. But a lot of the deck tends to be just cheating it out. The Crystal Beasts themselves aren't that great, though. They're pretty mid monsters, all in all. But yeah. GX also just had really good cards. I thought the gameplay when GX was around was good. Palmer's fusion monsters, I think, rode that line between having an extra deck that could build your archetype around, and kind of removing some of the randomness. And the extra fusion cards made it slightly more consistent, although super problemization was fucking busted. But, like, still, it worked. It worked decently enough. And all in all, the game felt good to play before Synchros came along. And even after Synchros, I think Synchros were still fine. She liked Naturas as well. Yeah, I actually played against a few Natura decks on a Dueling Network back in the day when we had that before it got taken down with Konami. I get why they did it. They wanted to have a digital Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing, and having Dueling Network there was kind of stealing their profits. I mean, I didn't buy any Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards because I played on Dueling Network. That was they were completely valid with that complaint. I know I did.
Watch out, my L.
Alright, what's he gonna do?
Let's carve a path.
Alright, we're gonna stun you, big guy. There we are. Ooh. Yeah, Naturas were cool. I liked... Oh god, what was it? So I was a Cyber Dragon archetype for like most of my play. Although I did build like a Chaos Dragon deck for a while. So my whole thing was that I like to play dragons, but there wasn't like... At the time when I was building it, there was, aside from Cyber Dragons, there wasn't like a defined dragon archetype. So I went in there and I found all the monsters that let you like exile a dark and light monster from your graveyard. And there were these two monsters, Solar White Dragon and Black Eclipse Dragon or whatever. And you could they essentially had they had a similar summoning condition where you had to exile 2 light monsters and 2 dark monsters respectively. The opposite of them, I think. And then I had this field spell called Dragon Ravine that I could use. And it was like a beefier deck. I didn't see a lot of people playing it. It was something I'd actually made myself. And I really liked. And I was really proud of the deck too, because it was one of the few times I played like a completely unique deck that only I played, and I also managed to still get a decent amount of wins on it. The only other times when I played like a snow deck using Astrolabe and Merit Lage in Modern, back when that was viable before they banned Astrolabe. And every time I do this, I'm always playing a sub-optimal strategy. I'm not using the broken piece to break something else. I'm using it to benefit the archetype it was meant for, with Dragon Ravine and Astrolabe. And like clockwork, I have a powerful piece that's used to benefit my archetype. In that case, Dragon Ravine let me search my library for dragon deck cards and throw them in my graveyard, which enabled me to exile them and bring them back and do all sorts of fun stuff to get a powerful board and swing my opponent. And Dragon Ravine got banned because it turns out there was this other archetype that was boring and I didn't want to play called Dragon Ravine. Yes, it was another dragon archetype, but it was not really as much fun to me personally. I didn't want to play it. I wanted to play something interesting. And that archetype was really busted with Dragon Ravine, so Dragon Ravine got banned. Same thing when I tried to do like a pure snow tribal deck in Modern using Astrolabe. Astrolabe was this card that let you filter your mana, turn it into snow mana, and also do it. And the whole thing with snow mana is there were a bunch of creatures that cared about your snow lands and how many snow things you had on the board. And I had this creature that got as much power as I had snow stuff, and it got trample, and it could run over you when it came down to Boon. And I could also get like a 20/20 indestructible monster if I got enough snow stuff out, and I had some pieces to like filter my graveyard. It was this very like mid-range pseudo-control deck that I had a lot of fun with, and Astrolabe got banned because it turns out Astrolabe was breaking artifact decks. It wasn't even snow decks it was breaking. It was breaking completely unrelated decks because it drew you a card and it just did generically good things for you. It was just a really good value piece apparently, and it ruined my fun, and I hated it. I hated it so much that I got banned from seeing another deck. Because I was the one using it like it was intended. I was using it to benefit the archetype it was built for, and instead it got banned because some other unrelated archetypes found a way to break it for them. Which always annoys me in card games. When I'm using the card as intended and doing something fun with it that not a lot of other people are doing, but yet I'm the one who ends up, you know, losing out on, losing out the most on a ban. Cube solved this. Honestly, I might want to just remake my snow deck and just play it against like other kitchen tabletop decks because it was really fun to play. It relied a lot on futurists to rip through the top of my library and put stuff into my graveyard, and eventually I'd have enough snow stuff on board to either play my Abominable Tree Folk, which would be like a big snow creature, and power and toughness would equal the number of snow things, including my lands. So if I controlled out the game and stalled out long enough, I could play these enchantments as removal too on thin ice, so it would exile a creature and it would remain on the board more snow. And I'd build a bunch of snow on the board, and the Abominable Tree Folk would just run you over. It would come down and tap down your creature, and then I would attack next turn, and you'd be helpless before it. It was great. It was fantastic. It was really fantastic. Ow, my ow. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh has had its ups and downs. The thing that kind of started to break it was XE Summon. And like I get the intention behind XE Summoning, believe it or not. I don't think XE Summoning was like a terrible idea in and of itself. The idea, because not a lot of people seem to realize that XE Summoning wasn't just done so they could have this new form of summoning. It tried to solve a problem. And the problem XE Summoning tried to say is, hey, there's like no reason for anyone to play level 4 below monsters without effects that don't have absurd stat lines. There's no reason for them to play the random level 2 monster without like that has like 1,000 attack points. And they tried to make those monsters more viable by saying if you have a lot of the same level monsters, you can fuse them together into a super monster. It was a good idea at its base. The problem is they made it way too powerful, and it ended up helping things that didn't need help. Like, it ended up helping, like, level 4 monsters mostly, like things like Utopia Wind Up. And it usually just means, like, trying to get as many reasons out there instead of actually playing the level 4 monsters that much. By pendulum summoning, by the time they got to pendulum summoning, they just like stopped caring. In my opinion, they just no longer give a shit. Pendulum summoning just, I don't even know what they were thinking with that. I'm not sure you could have done pendulum summoning right.
You can't escape.
Alright, rip them apart. Radiant Strike. I'm in virtuous mode. You know, it's sad, I don't even really play Modern anymore.
You can't escape.
I used to play Modern, but after Modern Horizons, a little bit after Modern Horizons 2, I kind of just dropped out of it. Because Wizards of the Coast has prioritized printing powerful cards to break the format over making sure the format is healthy. And it's just, it's gotten so frustrating. Also, we have a snack on board, and I haven't done my snack. Snack! I haven't done this. I should have done this earlier. Feels weird now, but I'm still gonna do it. It's a snare! It's a snare! Alright, you went flurry.
Precision.
Oh, I'm out of work. Oh, hey, we broke him! He spits out Expedition. Oh, right, he'd beaten him before. He's beaten Verso.
Let's cover path.
rip into him, Verso. So yeah, I mostly play Commander and occasionally Graph when I have the time now. Commander's fun though. Actually, one of the things I've been thinking of is playing Tiny Leader, but I've heard it's just whatever. It's like 1v1 though, which is maybe I'm not sure about. Basically, that one, the whole thing is it's Commander, but it's like 60 card deck, and it's still singleton, but you also have to choose a commander that's either a planeswalker or a creature that's legendary and is 3 mana cost or below. I hope Tiny Teferi is banned because I don't want to play like Teferi decks. But as long as that's not a thing there, I might want to try it. Although to be honest, these days I'm more interested in Sorcery. Sorcery and Contested Realms. I did a short about that a while back. If you have not tried that game, if you want to get into a card game, try Sorcery and Contested Realms. It's so much fun. It is so much fun. I cannot recommend it enough. Great game. Doom Herald. Trample 0, Conscript 0, or Trample, Conscript 0. If a creature controls the battlefield left, that's the battlefield's turn, you may put that creature here as a mere value of 0 onto the battlefield. Oh man. Damn, Conscript 0. Do you even have any 0 drops to grab with Conscript? Wait, that's for, is that for the, oh man. Would you even have 0 drops? You posted in the live stream chat simply, but like, do you even have 0 drops to grab, my friend? Alright, Lisando. Time to die, buddy. Hey! Look at us go. Well, we dealt... I love how you can see how much damage you dealt, and it took 9 minutes to kill this man. Damn. That was from my set. Okay. Oh, right. I have a bunch of... I have some creatures that only have a merge cost. Yes, I do. I do have some creatures that only have a merge cost. So it's Doom Herald, so it's conscripting the Eldritch Abominations from beyond time and space. Interesting. I mean, if you hit somebody with a 4/6 that's 6 mana and manage to get through, I guess you deserve to put Ulamog into play. I guess you deserve to put Cthulhu's Hand into play. Or whatever. Oh. Man, oh man. Oh look, there's the dancer. I do like how this like level has been entirely about getting to the dancer, and it feels like just getting to her is like half the battle. You know, having to like make our way past all the people who are drawn in by her song. Making this entire place her like little dance arena and making us feel very small has really added to the feeling of we're going to fight a gigantic kaiju abomination that could kill entire armies of people. Gotta go earlier today. Ah, have fun. Next week I'm gonna be back full-time attending like I used to. Alright, see you then, Nerdo Dragon.
Luke.
We're gonna go ahead and finish up. Hopefully, maybe we might get to fight them.
Luke.
Weird's going on. Everybody's just slipping strange
We're out of
emotions.
explosives, but we've made enough holes in this place to reach that giant woman in the center.
Like our minds flooding the area. Okay. We experienced that when we first came in. I'm amazed they got all the way down here without being overwhelmed by it. Like, how do you get all the way down here and finally get overwhelmed by it? Then again, the charm condition could be us, like, slowly succumbing. Bit by bit. Alright, so we are clear. This is clearly the flag before we get to the boss. Alrighty, we're nearly there. Let's do this. Let's do this. We got it. We got it, bud. Alright, let's see if we can learn these skills, I guess. Ooh, Endbringer. Do I have enough points? I don't have enough points for that. Do you have enough points for Light Cooler? Which can help me unlock that, but, I might grab Storm. I can grab Stormcaller or grab Elemental Genesis deals extreme damage, which could be really useful. Ooh, what's this? Oh, I unlocked one of the locked abilities. Tremor. Deals high earth damage to all enemies and removes a hit. Ooh, that could be a great one to replace, actually. 1 second. That could be a great thing to replace. So if I recall last time, stream crashed in the middle of Verso's family backstory.
We're finally there.
Yeah, yeah.
She's waiting at the end of this tunnel.
So Verso
we
is
should prepare
his
before
father
we head
is the creepy old guy who attacked us at the very beginning of the game. In case you were wondering, yes, Verso's father is the weird old guy who killed like all our friends. We're just not dealing with that right now. You know, we're just letting it go, letting it be. Oh, I see. These are the so these side abilities are the painting attacks. Yeah. And long story short, they locked the man. She was trying to use Mael to lure them to open the mansion so he can get to the paintress's heart, which is apparently
She's
inside his
even
house.
grander than I
The old guy, I
thought.
mean.
Yune, you're okay, right?
And
Where we've seen this dance before.
and it failed, and the barrier that's protecting it is only penetrable by a super weapon that the weird floating guy who let us into his house, you know, that weird guy who saved Mael at the beginning, he can craft a super weapon for us, but we have to kill 2 of these 4 gigantic kaiju creatures created by the paintress, who are so powerful that even an immortal like Verso, who's literally unable to die, wasn't able to kill them. That's what we're coming down here to do. We're coming down here to kill the first of 2 massive bosses. Activation codes. Oh god. So yeah, assembly. We talked about these actually, or did we not talk about these? I'm trying to remember. I don't think these were in the no. These weren't in the Amal set. This was the Amal set was different than the activation code. The activation code was on a different set, right? Were activation codes in the Amal set? I can't remember. All right, guys, we have to resist. We have to resist its charm. Lune, don't. Lune, it's an illusion. Correct. Okay, cool. They were really cool, though. They're a set of things that basically you play. The activation codes make it cheaper to activate the abilities of the massive artifacts, like the weapons of mass destruction, or monopoly, or thought control. And they're essentially artifacts that can, they're essentially things that can come down early. And in the late game, you can activate them for an absolutely massive effect that you can do repeatedly. Like, weapon mass destruction can just, like, sacrifice and blow stuff up. Activation codes within the Blitzer and Satire set, which is different than the Elcania set. Yeah. God, the visuals in this game are beautiful. I love how vibrant and colorful the world is. I mean, it's the apocalypse. That's no reason for it to not look fabulous. Alright, so we're gonna get one attempt at this boss before we have to... I love how we're attacking like a representation of her, because we're just supposed to imagine us like climbing up this thing, I guess. Interesting, it had nothing to tempt Verso with. I mean, to be fair, Verso probably doesn't have a whole lot left to be tempted with. Let's be real here. Alright, so Earth damage is our main thing here, which works great for us. Because we've got Earthquake. Wait, was this thing Earth? I thought it wasn't. Holy shit. These attacks feel cataclysmic. Oh, goddamn, that fucking charm ability is gonna drive me insane. It is interesting. You are right, though. It is interesting I had nothing to tempt him with. Alright, wildfire time. Get that burn going. Mael? Go into virtuous mode. Holy shit, this thing is tough. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. God damn it.
On me.
No, not charm. I have not successfully parried that a single time. We'll play Verso has no regrets nor lost attachments or nor longing. Or that the things he wants are so impossible that even in a delusion he can't delude himself to think he will be able to.
Let's dance.
Damn it! I'm really bad at parrying these attacks. I need to deal with these things. Oh my gosh, I finally parried it. Thank God. That means I got a virtuous parry too, which is great because it does a lot of damage. Alright. Yes. Uh-oh. We've entered a new phase. dancing has become frantic.
Let's dance.
These visuals are insane. The creativity on display here is... Oh man, we're getting like a first-person perspective here. Oh, this is so cool. Rick!
I'll manage.
Keep missing the parry. And now Verso just took out my L. Damn it. Revive 10 on my L.
The expedition's not over.
We're gonna use... Oh, I'm out of healing tents? I thought I didn't rest. That's an idiot. I didn't rest before this fight. Well, if I lose tonight, I'll have to do it next time. So that will suck. I'm terrible.
Verso.
Oh, I parried. Parried that.
Careful now.
Mael, you gotta do this. Damn it, Mael.
I'll manage.
Storm is coming.
Alright, Mael, take this healing light, get cleansed. Okay.
I'll do it.
Ironic gameplay Verso was charmed, while lore-wise Verso wasn't. Yeah, that is interesting. I keep going when they're like swinging down, even though they do this like weird... The dancing is actually throwing off my aiming, my parry timing, I'm not gonna lie. Oh shoot, I got it. Look at me go. Revive 10 on Verso.
Report once more.
Lune, watch out.
Alright, come on.
That's better.
Yes.
Ready to go.
Got it! Look at that go. Yes, I'm getting closer. Okay, we need to shoot these things though that are floating in the air. Like I think that we can probably shoot them and heal. Oh god damn it. Right, Verso's the fastest too. Wait, no, he's not the fastest. Okay, cool. And we can healing light him before he does that. Gods, Lune is like carrying this party.
Cut him down.
Would have been cool if in this fight specifically Verso couldn't be charmed. Like he had specifically steeled himself, and in this fight specifically they had nothing to use against him. That actually would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that actually is something a cool idea. As a specific benefit of like he's been through this shit before, you know.
Dance begins.
He's been here a while. He's lost his attachments, but then again he also has gained attachments with the others. Like one of his main character arcs seems to be trust Link with Lyn after a while. Damn it. Oh, come on.
Let's dance.
This fight is a lot. Ah, that timing is like so narrow. Thankfully, I am getting enough like minor parries that I can keep healing with healing light. Because if I didn't have healing light with the status reduction removal, I would probably just be screwed. Like I would have died by now if I couldn't remove status effects from people.
Good stuff.
On me.
Oh, it was a gradient parry. Damn it.
I'm ready.
Damn it.
Good.
And Lune got charmed, which is like super bad for me.
Hurry it.
What the? What even was that? What was I supposed to parry? Alright, we're gonna try with these guys, and hey, I can do one more after this. I can probably rest. If I have 15 minutes left, I can probably rest after this, if I lose this one. But we'll try and beat them with these two. Damn it. Frick. Alright, we're gonna try resting and getting back all my healing charges first, and then we're gonna go on for this, because I think I can do this. Just need to get better at the parry timing. We can do this. We've got this. First, though, we're gonna head back and do a freaking rest, like we should have done from the start, because I have no healing tints on me. I need to remember to rest. Like, I'm a proper person.
She's even
Interesting
grander
mechanic.
than
Basically, if
I
your whole
thought.
party is charmed, it's an instant loss. Yeah, apparently.
Okay, right.
Swear I've
Apparently.
seen this dance before.
Apparently, if you all get charmed, there's... I guess that makes sense, because if you're all charmed, there's nobody to snap you out of it. And you just all fall to the charm. Wait, I didn't get my tints back. Do I have to... I guess I have to... Oh, no, I got them back. Okay, there they are. They restored. It's like, wait, did the tints not come back? It's like, no, they did. Okay, cool. Alright. Let's go. We can do this. We've got this. We've got this. Oh, wait, actually... But it does make sense. Yeah, it does make sense. It does make sense. I'm fine with it if it, like, makes sense for, like, a lore reason. It's not, like, the best. I would prefer not to get instant wipe, but if it's like, oh yeah, but, like, doesn't it make sense? Like, yeah, it makes sense. Healing tent, let's see here. I want to see if I can get a healing tent that will, I know there's something that'll let you just remove, let's see here. I'm nearly positive there's something where you can, like, heal and remove, oh, actually, it'll be under support. So... yeah, it'd be under support. Cleansing tent. Okay, I need to use cleansing tent. We want to use first strike, obviously. Dodger, we want that. Because if we have to... I'm not really dodging that much. Let's go ahead and make that cleansing tent. That way, healing tents remove all status from the target as well. Let's go ahead and give that to Mael as well. And... you, just in case I need to cleanse you, or I need you to classic cleanse and you don't have any AP. Alright, this is probably my last fight, so if I don't win here, then it'll probably be, you know, end stream, but, like, let's try it one more time before we have to get to our end of stream. Last chance. Let's make it count. Come on, I want to kill the kaiju lady today. That'd be so great. It'd be, like, a great way to do it. It's like, hey, we're already halfway through this part. Skip. There we go. Alright. I do think the visuals just look freaking fantastic. And the music. God, this music is so good. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and build up some stuff with an Ice Lance. Perfect. Let's go ahead and marking shot to make it feature the first stuff. Double parried, smacked her with the weakness. Bam. Ah! Assault 0.
Here we go.
Get him up to B-roll perfection. Come in here with a blast of wildfire. That wasted virtue. That would have wasted virtuous, so I guess I'm not doing that. I thought I hit the gradient parry thing. Damn it! Oh,
Ready to
frick.
strike.
I'm already charmed. I think my whole party's charmed. No, they're not. They're not.
Storm is coming.
Just nearly everybody.
Okay.
No, wait, it's not auto charm. You all lose.
Let's dance.
Oh shit. I'm gonna start getting life already. It is auto lose. Okay, we're gonna not count that one because that one was bullshit. No, wait, we're not gonna sort of... load previous save. We're gonna redo that real quick because I got wiped so quickly. God, I felt like I was, like, powerful. I'm like, I feel like I'm at an appropriate level for this game. At this point in the game, I don't feel like I'm over-leveled because I'm doing good damage. But, like, man, you need to hit those charm parries. You have to hit those. Because if you're not hitting the charm parries, you're going to die. It's just gonna happen. Alright, this time is the last time, really. For realsies this time. Unless I get, like, instant charmed all again. God, that was brutal.
Chroma is flowing. Ice.
That was ridiculously brutal. Also, it looks like ice is the weakness, so that's good for knowing. Let's go and actually make this powerful. Get everybody up there.
Let's dance.
Let's keep going.
And hit her with massive damage. Good.
Let's dance.
Let's go. Alright, come on. Alright, I can dodge it. I should probably try and dodge those and not parry them because the timing is going to be more forgiving on a dodge. Parrying would give me more AP, but honestly, I'm not really worried about doing more damage. I'm worried about surviving.
Eyes shut.
Blades shut. Palm.
Blue strike. Alright. Parry. Gradient counter. Hit him hard. For the 9,999. Yes. Okay, we've already got the Dancer Frantic, and we basically have not taken a single damage, actually. We're doing well.
Ready to strike.
Marking shot.
Target marked.
We're going to go and energy tint myself. And then my L, you're going to go and give a Fluid Flurry. Oh yeah, look at those damage numbers. Look at that damage. It's fantastic.
Watch out, my L.
Oh shoot. Oh god, we got like the elemental like choreography dance or whatever. My god, I'm terrible at this. Well, at least I get healing up parrying now, so that's good. Damn it! Urso! Why do you have to be so damn fast?
Let's keep going.
Alright, Verso, I need you to not be charmed, because if me and my L get charmed, you're gonna screw us over, so you're gonna get healed right the frick now. Alright, we're gonna do a Pierce.
Strike.
Alright. She's trying to do Lune. You do a Gradient Parry. Got it. Hit her hard. Don't hold back. Damn it!
Let's carve a path.
I shouldn't. I'm gonna go ahead and do a we're going to do a healing tent and clear her of her thing, so Lune can keep going. Lune, you're going to use a thermal transfer here. You can get some build up for a big old attack.
Let the ink flow.
Alright, now you get another turn because we set that up properly. And then we're going to do Thunderfall. We're going to hit her all of this thing. Because there are no other targets. Hit it hard, do not hold back.
Okay.
Alright, we're doing this. We're doing well. We got it going. Got it going on.
Better.
Damn it.
Danger.
Finesse and grace.
Alright, you're going to go ahead and use a healing tent. Make sure Verso's not going to smack us in the face. And now I can use Perfect Break. Oh yeah, look at that.
It's flowing.
Look at Verso go. Thunderfall again. Thunderfall upon them. Yes!
Please survive.
We can't let her seduce him. Got it. Smack her hard. There we go.
Oh, well.
Dodged.
Let's
Alright, I
spin.
figured out. I think I figured out the dodge timing. I have to dodge right when there's the big. There's a little portal that flashes. So she doesn't attack. There's an effect. Then a little portal flashes, and then a moment later the shot fires. So I have to dodge when there's the little portal flash before the shot gets fired. But after they've already done the full animation on their, on the enemy's already done that full animation.
Let's carve a path.
All right. I love how she's essentially throwing two of the bosses from before
Watch
at
out.
us. Like, those are the glissandos, so those are literally the previous boss that we just fought. Yes, alright, I've got the timing. I've got the timing for the charm. She has nothing on me now. Now that I have the charm timing, she has no power over me. Let's do this. Alright, let's grab some more AP, grab another turn, and let's go to town. Thunderfall again. I've got the timing. I've got the... Oh yes, I got it all.
Get ready.
The final act. Alright, we got a final act twist. What's going on here? Whoa, wait, is she about to start throwing? Oh god, what is she about to do? Uh-oh. Oh shit. This doesn't look good. Oh, frick. She just threw a building at us. Damn it! I got the timing off.
Cut him down.
Shit. Verso, a boy.
Finesse and grace.
Alright, you know what? We're going gradient. I've been saving these up. Gradient attack time, baby. Yes! Rip into her, Mael! You got this! Mael will die in 2 turns. I don't think so. I think Mael is going to go ahead and use a Pierce skill, and then Lune is going to cure her of that curse. Actually, no, the insta-kill is more important. And then Verso can cure her of the curse after his turn, hopefully. Oh man, here it goes. Gone. Damn it, Lune. Healing tent on Mael. She's about to insta-die.
Incoming.
Oh shit, the Grand Ballet. Damn it.
Careful now.
Oh shoot. Alright, it's okay. We've got the dodge, we've got the timings, we have everything. We have the timings. We can do this. I don't have any way to heal her, so that kind of sucks. But what we can do is we can get into Virtuous mode and go in for the kill next turn. So you guys, we should only need to survive 1 more turn. I should use this time to shoot these things. And then try and go with Verso for a perfect break. Alright. Yes, he's in perfection. Okay. This thing is dead. Blew it. We got it. Yes! Look at us. We beat her. I said I was going to do it, and I did it. Right as the 9:30 mark fits. That is what we call perfect timing. Let's just watch this cutscene, and then we'll say goodbye for the night. Bask in our victory. I have no doubt this game is going to make you feel kind of tragic. Go, go, go. Yeah, we got this shit. We got this. I am Mr. King, baby. And of course, yes, they're making the death of this giant monster feel very tragic, very poignant. Lune, what are you doing? Has it charmed her? She doesn't look charmed though. What is this? Oh, she's gonna do a super blast. Damn, bro. fair, I like this because her ability to heal our allies and cure them carried Diddy through this fight. Like, Lune was probably the single most important character. When she got charmed, the entire party... This game is very good about making the characters who are important to the moments in the story feel important to the gameplay at that time. Sort of like how in the early game, Gustav was your all-around heavy hitter who carried the team through a lot of important fights. In this fight, where Lune is getting a lot of importance, her healing spell, her healing skill that can cure the charm, which is essentially just better than the others, she gets to take the spotlight, which I love that. That is just attention to detail that is so good. It's why this game is amazing. That is just so... They're continuing to do it. It's not just a one-off thing with Gustav. They're paying attention to their gameplay in addition to the story. That is what you call ludonarrative synchronicity. Right there. That, people, right there is amazing. Fantastic. Just nailed it. Utterly nailed it. They seem to actually know what the fuck they're doing, this gameplay developers. Sandfall Interactive clearly knows what they're doing, or Sandfall Entertainment, or whatever they're called. Clearly knows what they're doing. And he's absorbing the chroma from it.
Me? You want me to give it to you?
You're important in some way, Mael. We don't know why yet. Okay. Alright, Mael has to give it to him for some reason. I'm sure we're gonna find out why. He also saved her and brought it. What the?
That was... I saw... What happened? I saw it.
I saw it was the old man. Is that actually the old man in disguise the whole time?
Renoir?
I used to see him in my nightmares too. He can be quite traumatizing.
Are you sure that's not Renoir, actually? And the other thing isn't something pouring around the skin? Because that would be a pretty disturbing twist. Like, on the level of Jujutsu Kaisen kind of disturbing. Alrighty, and that has been our playthrough so far of Expedition 33. I hope to see you all next week when we go kill another giant kaiju and create a weapon of ultimate power to go slay a goddess's heart. It's gonna be cool. So, yeah, this game is epic. I fucking love it. Damn amazing, damn perfect. This is... I just don't see how anything is gonna beat this. I know that Silk Song's supposed to be coming out, but, like, they got to rely on Gustav gameplay-wise and then often make you feel the loss. Yeah, and in this game, they made Lune the important character who ends up killing her, and you feel like Lune is what carries you through the fight. Because her healing ability is what's healing you and curing the charm status condition that's the most dangerous thing. She can also heal the doom status condition early on with the Weaver, so she feels super important in the fight, so obviously she gets to deal the finishing blow. It makes sense. Ugh. It is... The gameplay developers seem to have a knack for mixing the gameplay and the story in a way that I don't see a lot. You don't see it a lot in gameplay. You just don't see it. And even when you do see it, it's in like one or two things. This game seems to consistently do it. And I'm blown away. It's very impressive. So, yeah. I guess I will see you guys all next time. Bye.